say that it feels right.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is TheBlender, it's TheBlender Gaming, and today we are going to start our Dark Souls 1 walkthrough. Big shout out to my buddy, Brant Aston. I worked with him a long time ago, back in 2009. He turned me on to Demon Souls, which, subsequently turned into Dark Souls, and so on and so forth. And I have been playing these games ever since. Love them. Love the difficulty. They really fit what I like. But I had to actually steal a my speed run start because I was trying to get this specific sword for this walkthrough, and apparently I had to do it a few times, so I actually ended up stopped recording the start part and started recording after I'd got the sword. So apologize for that, but here's my speedrun start from my speedrun video. Start Pyromancer with a master key gift. Everything else is kind of up to you. Get to this ladder, I take off the sword, the broken sword, the chest, and the helm. Those are actually for weight requirements so that I don't have to do that later. I drop the sword here. I had to take the sword off earlier, otherwise I couldn't drop it. Now the reason for that is inventory management, so it's easier to equip the axe that I'm going to get for my starting class here in just a minute. Now, I gotta say, these games are great. I didn't really get into 2 very much. Didn't much like that. Bloodborne's PS exclusive, so I didn't really jump into that too much either. But I have played the heck out of DS1, Demon Souls, and DS3, and I love all 3 of them. So if you saw that there, I inventory managed during the fog and put the axe on. We're going to talk to old Oscar here. He's going to help us out with giving us the key and the our healing flask. This mob at the top of the stairs, he's kind of a pain. You basically can walk right through him, or you can just hit him. But if you go too far to the left, he'll do a jump attack, which will actually end up dead angling, where he'll hit your ankle and hit you, and it can cause you to stagger, and it's real annoying. Here we're going to try and do a two-handed jump attack. This will give us 426 damage, or 415 damage there. Basically, it gives us a hit and then the attack, and then we're going to throw some fireballs. You can do a third fireball. I believe the axe, the 2 axe swings there is faster, but I was a little greedy and I was too far to the left. Got punished for it. Otherwise, I think that'd probably be pretty close to my personal best there. I think my personal best for the asylum itself is actually 2 minutes and 7 seconds. So we're gonna run through. We are skipping all the cutscenes. If you want to watch all the cutscenes, I believe there's actually a really good video out that kind of explains lore and cutscenes and whatnot. It's not mine. It's been out for years. So I would go check some of those out. There are a lot of people who dig into the lore of the game, and they have some theories, and that's one of the beauties about these games, is that they just don't tell you anything, and everything that you want to know, or everything that you want to be true, can be true. And if you want to make it up and make it be that way, by all means, have it be your reality. So here we're going to run through. We're actually running up to the Taurus demon. We're just kind of running through these mobs. This guy gets in my way. He just stands there. Nice butler holding the doorway. There, I actually ran myself out of stamina. So when you run out of stamina, one of the things you want to do is you don't want to ever run yourself out of stamina, because if you run out, you have to wait before you can sprint until it fills up, or there's a time allotment, basically. Now, what will happen is if you run yourself out and you're in that time allotment, you can still force a roll, and the roll doesn't count against or for the time allotment. So basically, you're gaining some movement, but utilizing the stamina, and that'll allow you to, it won't fill up and then hold before you can use it again. So that's why I rolled there. I killed this guy because he has that resonance key, which I'm going to need. if you wanted to do a little bit, save on every second, you would buy a dagger or 5 from him before you killed him. You could also purchase the resonance key if you, and I believe in some builds it actually, you actually do. I kill him because I'm a greedy guy and I want the souls. So that's what I did, and I'm not great at the dagger. To get the old dragon down. If I ever improve that, then I'll switch that to where I buy 5 daggers before I kill him, and so on and so forth. We make that jump because that's fun. This jump because it's necessary. This guy at the top of the stairs, he moved a little bit to the left, so we couldn't move. That's how I knew that he was off to the left, and I had to hit my joystick to the right to get around him. I like. If you're new, you're probably not going to get to this part where you get both the lizard and the boss in the same lightning resin. In that case, just leave the lightning resin for the boss. But in essence, you can get both. Now, he actually staggers with the lightning resin and the hand axe. He staggers in 4, which should be all of your stamina bar. I get greedy there again, kind of like I did with the Asylum Demon, and I took a hit for it. Basically, I should have just run without hitting the attack through his legs, but I got greedy, took an attack, and took a big hammer to the face. And here we're going for the Drake Sword. That's why we got the 10 dexterity before. It's the most important part of the leveling process at this early game is the 10 dexterity. The attunement, if you're worried, or if you're worried here, you could go down to the bonfire that we're going to kick the ladder to here, and you would go down and get 19 attunement. Essentially, that's the goal you're looking for, is 19 attunement before the gargoyles. If that happens, you can lose every soul you get before the gargoyles without a problem. Other than that, I had to walk out to make his fire go off, and that was kind of annoying. Do some inventory management. I pop all these because in order to get the Black Knight Greatsword, I have found I get my highest, or I get my best chances at 6. Now, whether that's placebo or not, I couldn't tell you, but that's just kind of how it feels for me specifically. With the Black Knight Halberd, my best is 2, and whether that's superstitious or not, I couldn't tell you, but yeah. So you hit the tail there 3 times, you'll get the sword. We should inventory manage it here, and now we're actually going to go parry the guy upstairs for the Black Knight Greatsword. Now, the parry takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of practice, especially doing it barehanded like this. It's a little easier if you start, I think, with Bandit, with their shield, or Thief, but yeah, so we're going to barehand parry, and when we get the sword, he's kind of a meanie head. He does some weird things. That's the attack he did is the attack we want, and there we go. So we'll go back to our regularly scheduled walkthrough video here momentarily. Now that we've got the sword, and hope you enjoy it. Hope it helps. Alright, so we finally got the sword we were looking for. So it only took like 6 or 7 or 8 runs, give or take, and finally got it. So now we're gonna see if we can't get this basement key. We aren't doing, so even though we do mimic some of the speedrunner stuff, this is not a speedrun, nor are we actually speedrunning. We're just doing kind of a universal start. I just decided that I wanted to do a Greatsword build, because it's not one that I have done. The Black Knight Halberd kind of gets all the attention. The Greatsword is the one that kind of gets left behind in that. So I wanted to do that. It scales better. It should make some of the other fights, if we do them right and we get our hits in, should make those a lot easier. We're also doing, this is what I call the bone loot, because we get the homeward bone, We have the skellies. I know that's not very original for them, so calling them bones, but ah, that was close. Almost got a toe hooked there. Alright, so we got that. We're gonna get this, so we get those 2 souls. Now if you were duping souls, don't worry about that in any way, shape, or form. If duping souls is something that you're okay with, go for it. But you don't need to pick these up. Alright. Now we'll come over here. We got the old big guy here. You could rest if you're worried about him.
By the lords, you damned fool. Feel the wrath of the gods. No. This can't be.
Not worried about that. Now here, I get the 19 attunement here. So I want that. And that's it. That's all the leveling up we're gonna do here. Yep. Now, at this point, we're gonna save every soul we get after this.
I'm not defenseless, you rascal. You will soon regret it.
There we go. So yeah, we're gonna save every soul that we get after this, specifically for upgrading our flame, because this is a universal start. It works for any build you want to play. Any like, you want to play with Flamberger, you want to play with a Claymore, you want to play with a Zweihander, you want to play with, you want to do a Giant's Dead, you want to do a, Dexterity Great Side PvP build, or PvE build, or, even a Life Hunt, like any of that, right? Essentially, this start, if you're brave enough to do the first 30 minutes or the first 45 minutes, depending on it's about 30-45 for me. If you were brand new, right, it'd probably be a little bit longer. You can ignore the soul saving that I'm doing and and start getting your combat skills up. But if you do that, there we go. And this is always easier. But if you wanted to say, if you want to ignore the saving because you're not comfortable with holding on to a bunch of souls, then by all means do so. But this is just the way I do it. I save it all up, but it's very speedrunner-esque. Now, if you're not comfortable with the gargoyle fight, you can also do a thing where you can go reverse your hollow. So you can reverse your hollow there, and then use that to. Oh, I got a bunch here. Okay, so you then use that to summon Solaire up here at the top of this. Now we've got our gargoyle fight. So there, I didn't get the staggers set up right. I didn't get the tail cut off like I should have, and I didn't get the staggers set up correctly for the first dragon, the first gargoyle. So now, unfortunately, I don't get the lightning for it, which makes it a lot easier. So now I just have to Drake sword it, which is unfortunate but doable. Normally, if and so I do get angry. I do get upset with myself. So like if I die here, I would probably get real mad and like that I lost the souls, right? Even though it's a couple thousand, right? I would be really upset that I lost those. There we go. Then we'll go here, and we'll go 1. I hate that room. I thoroughly hate that room. So here, first priority is to survive and get my souls. Second priority is to kill this stupid guy. There we go. We're gonna go over here because he doesn't breathe too far this way. I need this damn gargoyle thing. There we go. There we go. And there she is. It was a little easier. It's a little more predictable, the pattern for this. If you want a really easy one, you get a lightning imbued battle axe, because that attacks fast for a battle axe. Or I think it's a battle axe or great axe. You get it from, I think it's a great axe, but you get it from down from Andre. Usually you do that on like a Black Knight halberd build, where you've gone down to the Black Knight halberd guy first, or before the gargoyle fight. You can also do different, you can jump off that, you can drop down this, kind of like I just did, but you can do that for, I think, for both of them if you're at full health. There we go. Getting souls and humanities here. There we go. Homeward Bone. The last there is this book. Book of the Guilty or something like that. I rest here. So one on my spells back that I didn't use. Push this guy off the edge.
Well, what have we here?
Reload so we can get our fact ring. There are some other like you can wait and go all the way around, and when you wait till you come back. I like it right now because it lets me put on my chest, which gives me more poison resistance, which makes it so that I do a lot better against the toxic things in the Blank Town. It also gives me more poison resistance, so I'm not always poisoned all the time there. just grabbing souls. You know, again, things you in speedruns you don't necessarily need to do these because you're probably duping souls, or at least in the world record stuff. I kind of wish there was a world like a world record thing for glitchless speedruns. I think the what's called the Black Lamage build is the closest to glitchless. I think he dupes some souls and some homeward bones, but I think he dupes 1 or 2 souls. But so if you notice what I just did right there, it's a quick cut behind the enemy. If you don't know why that is, it's because of dead angling. So like enemies' attacks have a tendency to drop in the wrong spots, and like their swing, their arcs of their swing could clip you in the ankles or something like that. And if that happens, you're kind of up a creek without a paddle. You're in a real bad spot. And so what I do is you cut behind them, and most people do when they learn, so that you're directly behind them in that, and you can't get hit in that like 270 arc or degree cone, right, where you could potentially get hit in the ankle and dead angled and get take some health off you. So that's why I do it. All right, rest. Oh, no, I wanted to reverse the hollowing. And then I also kindled this bonfire because I am going to go get... I'm not brave. I'm not a speedrunner brave. I'm not going to go get... I don't use the red tearstone ring, right, for any fights or a lot of fights. Actually, I don't think I use it for any. And like I said, this is pretty much supposed to be like a universal build setup. And so what I've got here is I use the what we call FAP ring, or favor of ring and protection. Favor and protection, FAP. We go unhollow so that we get Mildred. She's gonna invade and we're gonna kill her. You can, if you had done this at the gargoyles and you don't die, then she would invade you before you got to this bonfire. If you are doing something like, or if you're Drake Sword, let's say, or whatever, let's say you're doing a slow walk and you're using the Drake Sword, or you're trying to get a different dragon weapon. Come up here, get this dragon scale. All dragon weapons, they don't scale off of your stats. They have pretty low stat requirements for all of them, but they do not scale off of your stats. They scale completely off of their level, essentially. So you need dragon scales to make that work. She's pretty simple. You can do that. You can also wait for her to roll and do backstabs if you want to feel PvP like. She's not difficult. She's just kind of a dumb runner. I'm gonna rest here for full health, and then we're headed to go get Power Within. Now, Power Within is it's easier if you're doing like a Black Knight sword or Black Knight halberd build, because you can actually kill the thing that guards the Power Within really fast and without a whole lot of holy crap, that's not supposed to happen. Oh. Well, we get poisoned. We didn't get toxic, which is good. We fell off twice now. I've never actually fallen off that bridge that way before, so we're just gonna slow walk it and roll there. Stupid thing. Oh, he's down here. We're gonna take this. That's opportunity. So they give you this purple moss clump, which gives you poison fix, and then the purple white gives you toxin fix. When he falls down like that, he's a pain in the ass to deal with, But it also, or at least if you're still down on the bottom like I was there before, I just didn't know he was there, so I didn't actually worry about dodging him. But yeah, pre-target this guy. If he does the melee, you're gonna get hit off the top of the ladder. If he does the scorch, right, the flame breath, you can actually beat that with the Drake sword, and you'll stagger him and not take damage from it. But yeah, the dragon skill weapons only scale off of their modification, like how modified or how good they are. This guy, he's if you see the toxin darts behind me, he's just tossing those out behind. He will fall off for some reason. Oh, we didn't get a. I wait for a growl. If the guy growls, it's this guy up here, and that means he heard us or he knows we're down there. He didn't growl, so we can get him here. But because go down, yeah, there we go. So now I don't like fighting this guy. He's big, fatty, and takes a lot to backstab. He's a pain in the butt. So I just bring him down here. He can't climb the ladder, and I don't have to deal with him. The other ones we have to deal with because they're just kind of annoying. I'm going to full health just in case I mess this up. Like so. 1, 2, and 3. The other ones should come from that ladder right there. 3, 4. It's important to know how many swings you can get in a full thing. This one gets 4. You get 4 out of the Drake sword. There's another guy that should be coming through down there, but he hasn't aggroed yet, so we'll see if we can't make him mad real quick. Check. Well, that didn't go where we wanted it. Now this shouldn't kill him outright. I'm kind of worried about my backside there. Block here. 1, 2, 3. Still nothing. So we'll get the homeward bone ready. And we're going straight down to the one we just we were at before. There we go. So we've gotten everything we need out of here. A tune here, for sure. Need power within. That will that's going to help us with our fight. Also gives us our resting. Has given us our 10 flasks. I killed these. You can run by them, but you're really looking to get a lot of souls, right? If you can finish this Quelaag fight that we're coming up on in a decent time, or with a not decent time, with a decent amount of souls, right? Like we have 30,000. That's really good. That's pretty good. You know, having about 40 or 50,000 would probably be better. If you're a duper, souls duper, you can actually dupe the soul of Quelaag. You can dupe that all the way up till whatever you needed. It's I believe it's like 170. It's like 354,000 souls in total. So if you wanted to dupe all the way to there, be my guest. I don't think it would be a lot of fun, but it's possible. Completely possible. So here we're going to use that purple moss we were talking about. There we go. Stop that from happening. We're going to summon our friend Mildred. It's important. One of the things I've had happen is if I zone in while she's summoning, more often than not, she fails. She doesn't just fail to summon. She summons, but she gets through the gate and goes nowhere. She just sits at the gate. So I've found that I have to wait for her to come all the way up and then go through the fog. There we go. Get her mad at me. So you can get this safe spot right here, right on her nose, or in her belly here. And that's really good, right on the nose. But you have to be careful for that attack she just did right there. Because what'll happen is the center attack, she'll put that one in, and if you're standing in the center or she has moved you that way, it can create some problems there where she'll actually hit you. Don't be close when she does that. She's doing her, this is 2 rolls back. And try not to do what I just did, which is come back forward early, because that'll really wreck your day. 1, 2. I like to heal after that. There we go. And that's the fight. You can, if you get the Black Knight Halberd, you can use its forward attack, right, which comes right over the top. If you aim it up high enough and hit her in the chest every time, the lady in the chest every time, it'll actually stun her. You can do the same thing with a Great Soul Arrow if you get real close. You get kind of in that safe spot right on her nose, and then spam it into her, and she doesn't move after that. It's kind of like a stun lock. It's pretty cool. Pretty fun trick. So go ahead and jump down here. There's the hidden doorway. We're gonna say yes to this guy, and then we're going to use some souls. We'll join this covenant. We'll talk to her. Oh. Because we want the Greater Chaos Fireball from it. And then we'll rest at this bonfire and attune our magics. I like to do descending order for all my spells. If you have a preferred spell order, by all means do it. That's all. It's all up to you. Preference is key in this game. Now, we have 53,000. We still have the Soul of Quelaag. We'll put that on our bar here in a minute to use that. And we still have a couple other things to pop. But we are going to come down here to the good old Ceaseless Demon. He's a friend. That's a little skip you can do. Makes it so you don't have to run all the way around. And since we rested at the Daughter of Chaos bonfire, we are not worried about, we're going to Homeward Bone out of here. You could also dupe Homeward Bones. And now there's this. So we're going to run ourselves out of stamina, then we're going to Power Within because it does give us stamina regen. There we go. And we're going to heal. There shouldn't be too many places we need to heal in this fight. You could fight him normally. If you fight him normally, he gets all mad and smashes the ground, and you have to, with his big old arm, and then you have to attack his arm. You could, right now, he's completely passive. You could go up there and pet him, love on him. Don't pet him with anything sharp. He'll get real mad. But, yeah, so he's pretty passive at the moment, but now, this is apparently his sister, and he's not too happy about us taking his sister's clothes. And if you do that, you come to that edge, just like I did, and you wait for that first splash to go off, and he's gonna jump behind you, basically. He's doing that there, that's his first one. And you just keep running. Ignore everything he's doing. Alright. And keep running, and we're gonna go all the way to the fog gate. And here we're gonna use the old Quelaag Soul. He comes here, and this takes, I think, 7. There you go. Boss finished. We goaded him in. There we go. Now we have 80-some thousand, right? That's pretty good for us. That's pretty good. You know, 90 is a good one. I think I've had upwards of 120, but that means if you get more than about 80,000, that means you died somewhere else. Here we're gonna modify our equipment. Now, of note, if you're playing on a patch that is 1.0, I believe 8 or 1.05 for safety, right? If it's 1.05 or better, you'll want to go out and get infected by one of these egg crawler guys. You go out and punch it, let it grab you, and let it suck on your face, and it's gonna do that. When it does that, it's going to infect you with one of these parasites, and then you want to talk to him. Ascend your glove a little bit, right? Or even just drop it, and then talk to him. He'll offer you a pyromancy flame. You'll want 2. The reason for this is that I believe in 105 or 108, but I believe it was 105. They changed pyromancy because it used to be that the higher your flame on your pyromancy glove was, the more damage Power Within did to your body per second. They normalized that to where it does the same % damage to your health pool regardless of how high your flame is. So that's no longer necessary as I'm beyond that particular patch. But if you were before then, you would want a level 1 non-upgraded pyromancy glove as your Power Within glove, and then you would want a second glove for any of your spells. And here, so those big guys, these are like that big black guy with the great club. This guy's got a rock. He's like the one I don't like on steroids. And there you go. Look at all the damage we did to him. There's one. There's another one. There we go. Now, with this set, if you'd put on the Hemlock set that we got from the Ceaseless fight, you wouldn't get poisoned here.
Yes, of course.
We talked to her, say yes, because what we want to do is upgrade our stuff. But first, we want 2 things: Great Combustion and Combustion. If you have a flavor that you like for the other ones, grab them. But if you don't, and you're like me, just get those. I only care for exactly what I need, really. And that just that starts it. You know, from here we have 10,000 souls. You could save them. I'm actually gonna start spending them. I get to about, I believe it's 30-21 is what I like to get. I like to get to 30 vitality and 21 endurance, and then I start building my combat stats. Now, if you wanted combat stats earlier, so like if you were doing a melee build and you were just using this to get there, then you would start doing your combat stats now. But that's not me. I'm doing a caster, or essentially a full-on pyromancer. So 18 vitality works for me. Gets me a nice big health pool. and I'm ready to run out of here. So I'm gonna head up out of this Blight Town area. And that'll be that. So that's the start. It is probably a little longer of a video, and like I said, I am doing a Black Knight Greatsword build, in part because it is done for it's a start I want to work on, because it is used in speedruns, in the event I want to do a speedrun, but and the other part is because I've never the halberd's always really gotten the attention. And Mr. Asmongold recently started playing Dark Souls, and he streamed it. He did really well, especially for being blind and having trolley chatters that didn't help him out. They kind of gave him bad advice and stuff like that, and got him killed a lot, and left. And that's fine, right? You're gonna have that, but he and then I watched another one where he tried to he was gonna do a deathless run. He got his Zweihander. He was running around in Blight Town. He was getting it all upgraded and doing. He was doing some good work. And then he fell. He fell off of that thing I just did there. That elevator. The thing that I do. I'm not good at jumping off that elevator. And so what I do is I ride it all the way up till it starts rolling over, and that puts me on the very top of the rollover at the kind of like the apex of that ellipse or whatever would be called, and that is that's where I let it do that, so that there's no break in the wood, so I can't fall from there. So with that, hopefully this helps. Hopefully this does something good for you guys, if you can do those starts and whatnot, or if you're brave enough to. If you're not, just do your combat stats, get the Pyromancy Flame, get down there. You have to get to +10 at that egg guy that we used. His name's Ingy. You have to get the Pyromancy Flame to +10 before that lady will show up and sell you those 2 spells. But once you get +10 and you get those 2 spells, along with the Chaos Fireball that I showed you, with Power Within, you can pretty much solo this game, right? You're pretty much ready for all of it. Some of the fights might be a little harder. DLC is definitely something to kind of stay away from, because they have higher resistances to magic. So with all that being said, I'll go ahead and take off. Thanks for watching, and let us know if you have any comments, tips, tricks, comments, or anything else that you want to see in a video.